All right, guys, you're about to take a journey into the Movie Lingo vault and see how it all started. Now, I have to warn you guys, the quality may not be there, but the passion to critique definitely is. I hope you guys enjoyed these reviews as much as we enjoyed making them for you. Let's go ahead and get into the review. Welcome back to another Movie Lingo discussion. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Ron.
I'm Iris.
And I'm Cody.
And this is the full-length Movie Lingo discussion for Batman versus Superman. Yay!
Full length.
Full length. You're getting it all. Now we're going to actually go with the spoilers, in-depth discussion. Generally, everybody is satisfied with the movie. Some more than others. Now we're going to talk about the movie itself. So let's start with acting. Let's start with Ben Affleck and how everybody felt about him as Batman, and then let's also compare him to Christian Bale. All right, who wants to start that?
I'll go with it.
Already then.
Ladies first. You can.
Oh, I was just trying to use my Jedi mind thing to make sure the baby doesn't wake up. But to compare Christian Bale and Ben Affleck,
Jedi can't do that.
I have to say I was actually pleasantly surprised with Ben Affleck because I was a little
Affleck.
Affleck.
Whatever.
Affleck.
You were pleasantly surprised, right?
Yes, I was. I was pleasantly.
Not presently surprised.
Listen, fuck you with
That
my
video-
Look,
slight
I'm just a little bit bi-curious.
And much like the plot of the
You
movie,
know what?
we just
Don't throw this
Exactly.
Don't throw this
Because I like my coffee, so I'm gonna
All
say
right,
that.
all right.
But-
Inside jokes, people. Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry.
You gotta
They're
go back
making-
and watch the first, folks.
they're making fun of my my slight lisp and accents, but it's alright. So basically,
You were surprised.
I was surprised because I don't know. I'm used to chasing Amy type Ben Affleck,
Oh yeah.
not superhero. I'm gonna kick ass.
So Daredevil and Paycheck didn't convince you,
No, not really.
and then the town didn't show you his badass side. I think he's been trying to build it up for a while.
I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed those movies except for Daredevil. I was like, eh.
Girl.
Oh, that's
But,
right. He was in that shit.
He was the Daredevil.
I just
Redemption year.
Are we talking about the same Daredevil?
The only movie that was made.
yeah, the only movie
That's right.
with
It was
Jennifer
Ben
Gardner.
Affleck. Yep, with Jennifer Garner.
Yeah,
He said he was in
with
that.
his wife.
His wife.
At the time.
at
Can we
the
just
time.
talk about her?
So
Wait, are they?
It's a different movie.
They're not
done.
together anymore?
They're done.
Is she with someone else?
Where are you at?
okay. Hopefully, at some point, I'm gonna be able to
Go ahead, please.
mention some shit.
Please.
So, anyways, not to repeat what I was trying to say, I was surprised, especially because since they took such a dark, way of doing the movie, especially with the Batman character. I think he did a really good job, and I like the fact that this time around they actually used a voice covering thing, and he didn't try to do that.
Try to do it himself?
No, stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I like that it
That
was
fresh
something that
smoker.
modified his voice
Yeah.
intentionally instead of, something that did it for him instead of him
Exactly,
just
and
trying
I
to
actually
have the
liked
voice.
how the voice modification sounded. I thought it was good,
It bothered me when I first heard it because I was just like, why does Batman always have to have a voice?
Why can't it just be a regular?
Right, Superman and Clark Kent sound exactly the same when they talk.
Yeah,
And
but
that's a
then-
worse disguise.
Yeah,
You know?
Classic.
But Kimball showed exactly why we need that kind of stuff because then you'll know who Batman is.
Very true.
And Clark Kent really isn't a big anybody. He's Bruce Wayne, Mr. Rich Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
of
he's
Gotham
in the
City.
limelight. Everybody sees him, knows him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
but he could just use different slang and still talk normal.
Yo, it's the
Yeah.
Bat.
oh my god.
Ripping it up Gotham style.
And when he said that, I was actually saying, what other slang is he going to use?
He's hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. And we're like, yo, I'm the fucking Bat.
Hey, yo, you bleed?
You will.
We gonna find out if you bleed. What if Batman was just super hood?
I
Oh my
watched
God.
it soft as hell.
I actually thought that Ben Affleck was a truer interpretation of Bruce Wayne than Christian Bale was.
So did I.
Because
Yeah.
Christian Bale was too smarmy playboy million. He was Tony Stark, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
He
Yeah.
acted more like Tony Stark than he did Bruce Wayne.
I could feel that.
I could see that.
And
they were probably going for that because of the success of
Yeah.
Iron Man and Tony Stark.
and Ben Affleck was more brooding and dark.
He was still
He looked
hurting.
upset that his
Yeah.
parents were
he
dead.
was fighting
He
a
was
lot
still
of
dealing with it.
a lot of internal demons, you know.
Yeah,
So,
he had the nightmares and all. So I
was
actually
good.
liked.
especially with that crazy bat scene where you see the creature come out and grab him when he's dreaming.
Oh, and
Oh,
the
and then he
blood's
started
coming
back.
from the grave.
And then he
Yeah, I was
levitated
like, oh
like
my God.
Jesus.
Easter egg, man bat.
Oh, true.
That's what that was.
Yes.
I have those comics.
Awesome.
That's true. That's true. I
So-
liked it in the cartoon.
So so then we all agree that Ben Affleck did a great job. You were on board from the beginning, though.
I
Yeah.
was on. If you go back,
That's
check
true.
Another,
He was.
You have to realize his ability to act has come way far than what was the movie with Jennifer Lopez, Gilly, whatever that
Gia.
was. Gia.
Was
Yeah.
it Gia?
I don't know.
Or
It's
Gia?
like G.I., something like that.
It was
I don't know.
horrible. Whatever it was.
Exactly. It was.
He's come a
Shitty
long
movie.
way.
Is it Gia?
No,
Gia?
that was with Angelina Jolie.
Okay, what was
and,
the one with
With Jennifer Lopez, there was one. It wasn't
Jennifer
Jersey
Lopez?
Bound.
Gigi?
Gigi?
Something like
No.
that. I think
Some
it was
shit.
really
Well,
bad.
it had Al Pacino on it too.
Yeah,
right?
it was. I don't know, but it was really bad. He's come a long way.
I
in
gotta
his
look that
acting.
shit up. Okay. I don't want to look it up.
We'll look it up
actually.
later.
We'll look it up.
It
later.
wasn't Gia though. That was Angelina Jolie. You're right.
Yeah, and what's her name?
He, to me, every scene he was in, he was Batman. Whether in the costume
Yeah.
or he was Bruce Wayne, he sold it for me. I thought when the movie would start, I would look at him as this is Ben.
Yeah.
I hadn't. From the moment he spoke his first word, that's Bruce.
Yeah, I never had any hesitation on it when I thought I was like, okay,
I
fine.
did. I was a little.
A lot, yeah, a lot,
Yeah, I
a lot
was
of
a
people
little
were
hesitant.
extra hesitant, but I didn't have any problem with it at all.
But I think that's what happens when you have a character, someone play a character for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and then you bring in someone new. There's always that first slight
because
hesitation.
they didn't really give us time to get over.
Christian
You know,
Bale.
they kind of there was another reason why I thought they were fast tracking stuff.
Yeah, like Adam in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I was like, what the fuck?
Makes sense.
You
Yeah,
didn't do
so-
too bad, but Jesus.
No, but I
That blew
thought
my
he did great.
mind.
So on continuing on the acting though, let's talk about Eisenberg,
Oh,
Lex
Yes.
as Lex. You had an opinion.
Yes, I do. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a phenomenal actor to me. I think he does a really good job. And I think he did a good job as Lex. But with the type of man that Lex is supposed to be, a very well distinguished, businessman with like a serious attitude with a little bit of crazy under there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jesse took more of I'm a bumbling kid with money and I'm got a little bit of Joker personality.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see that, but
I didn't see that at all.
I felt that
I did.
that people can compare him to like almost Joker-ish, but for me, I saw the beginning of since he was young with money, and he kept referencing his father, so it was almost like this
In the
new
shadows.
generation.
Yeah, Lionel.
And then we're going to eventually, like they showed at the end, him getting his head
Head
shaved.
shaved.
That he will evolve into that Lex that we know, and like this is like
This
the
is an
origin story for
exactly,
everything,
Exactly.
and it's just
That's
gonna
exactly how I took it.
it's gonna grow into everything that we want to be with the Justice League, with how Lex is, and that's my personal opinion. What do you think?
I could understand that. With him, he's still kind of a kid, so he hasn't become that man that he's eventually supposed to
It's
become.
coming, though.
But I just felt he was just a little bit too bumbling.
But the thing
Too
that I
quirky?
took out of it
Yeah.
was he's supposed to be full of knowledge. He just loves to like devour knowledge. And you see him with the library. You see him wanting to learn everything on the Kryptonian ship. And in the comic books, again, I look at the comics and the movies and the television as different Earths almost. Different
Well,
universes.
they pretty much are.
But they took certain parts from it, and in the beginning, when he was introduced, he had hair. He lost hair because of an accident or a situation that he blamed Superman for.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Smallville, a television show, he was that teenager, different, goofy, hangout guy before.
Yeah, when they were friends.
His animosity towards Superman turned
him
this
into
person.
something
So
darker.
I think we get used to the animated series and certain in workings, and we say that's what Lex looks like.
That's the best version, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is I'm hoping that they have this set up where we see, much like a certain Star Wars movie, we see that transition.
Yeah.
Because again, that's why I really like the fact that you have some of these main characters who are established actors. And I'm hoping in the next few movies that you're seeing that acting, you're seeing that emotion. Because Bruce gave you scenes where you were like pissed at Superman. I'm a Superman fan. And he conveyed that emotion to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Jesse's character, for him to be that guy, like again, you look at people like Bill Gates, some of the smartest people in the world, they're socially awkward. something about them is a little off. They read the world different than we do.
Right.
And I think he did a good job of pulling that off.
Awesome. You have an opinion on this one?
What movie were we talking about? I thought I never looked at
I'm
it
not the
that
only
way.
one that can get deep.
I'm like the that's not true.
You know what?
I didn't say towards you. I didn't see it the way you did. But now that you've mentioned it about like almost like an origin, I can see that. But it still weirds me out a little bit. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Like Iris said, I like Jesse Eisenberg. I don't think he's a poor actor. I wouldn't say phenomenal. He wouldn't be in my top list of actors. He does a good job for what he does. It just felt off to me. But I didn't look at it as an origin story, which makes a little bit more sense. Makes me a little bit more open-minded to it. But I did see the Joker in him instead of Lex Luthor. That's totally what I saw.
Yeah, because even in the storyline when Justice League was starting out, he was already this distinguished man. So that's what I was expecting.
But I just look at, like I said before, that's a different comic book. That's a different.
You gotta consider it as a different universe.
Yeah, that's true.
The cinematic platform they're giving us, that's why they changed the timelines of the death of Superman. They just like meshing everything together to launch this.
Wait. Superman died?
You know what?
Did we not mention that?
Spoiler alert. He doesn't.
Close.
For like a day or two.
Not even a day. They're like 6.5 hours.
I mean,
He took a nap.
Well, however long it takes to build a funeral.
to build. It depends on how much money you got.
Yeah.
There.
Or, do a funeral.
Only a
whatever.
day from what
I remember
I've
there was
experienced.
two funerals.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so they had the one in.
And still, no
Metropolis.
one put that shit together. That,
No, and I read a story on it. They were trying to say, how did no one put together the Clark and everything? And he
That
was
Clark
making-
disappeared?
Yeah, and he was making not a joke, but when he was directing the movie, he wanted to do the scene without having the
Oh, shit,
extras
she's
and
about to
everybody
start.
knew what was happening. And so what he did was he did 2 separate funerals.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't put a logo on the casket. It was the flag over the casket. He told the actors something world-changing just happened, and I need the emotion as if someone died, and they never gave any clue to it. So when you see the firemen crying, it was these extras who were just going off of in their head what could happen to the world that was so great. So they didn't know until the screening, until they actually started watching the movie. They had no idea. So that was something cool to.
That's. Where do you get this? That's just. What the fuck?
When the movie came out, he actually
Director?
Director, yeah.
Oh.
I don't want to butcher his name.
Okay, fine, but this you
They
just.
asked him stuff.
Okay.
Same thing when I said that extended scene came out. They asked him stuff, and he actually tells you, hey,
Wow.
look, this is how we came up with the scene. This is how we were able to not let anyone know that this part was in the movie. Because again, the trailer showed majority of what we thought the movie was going to be.
Yeah.
This part was not in there.
I just don't understand how Superman and Clark Kent had funerals at the same time and no one still was able to put that shit together.
Yeah.
He's Superman, guys. Like, he's wearing glasses.
They even put in the newspaper right there, like Clark Kent missing in action.
will be
same
missed.
day as.
Yeah, but.
For any
nobody
of you
got
that don't know,
Yeah.
Clark Kent is Superman.
Yeah, but
So apparently
one
people
thing
can't
I
figure
like
that
is
out.
like how Clark Kent's ceremony was a little bit more.
It was just,
Rural.
yeah. It was just.
and I mean the casket was like this wooden box,
Yeah.
and
It's a harvest. I'm telling you, that
Harvest of bodies.
in the interview, he said that's what he called it. He said, we're going to film the harvest scene.
Wow.
And the bagpipes and certain things will play on other movies that he was giving nods to.
All right, so let's get back to the acting though before we go deeper into the death of Superman. Wonder Woman. How'd you feel about her?
I liked
Did
it.
you feel like you were getting a Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
You liked
I
everything
did.
about it?
I did.
Yeah,
I
I
liked
loved
it.
her attitude, and I love how in all the gowns that she wore,
Little gold.
I think
Yeah, she had
Martha
that little
Stewart should have
gold.
played Wonder Woman.
Martha Stewart. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Or
And I like
Alexandra Daddario.
and I liked how she bulked
I
up
don't
a
know who
little
that is. We're
bit.
going to put a picture at the bottom.
he's always mentioning her. She's.
I'm always mentioning someone.
Yeah.
I liked her. What is it Gal Gadot or is it Gal Gadot?
I'm not sure.
I think it's Gadot.
I think
pretty-
She could be
She can be
Lingo.
whatever you
yeah.
want to be. Yeah.
Gal Galingo.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
and her compared to the Fast and Furious movie, she was a lot thinner. So I like that she put a little bit of more meat on her body.
Mhm.
Even though in most movies cartoons or comic books, she's more of an Amazonian, really big,
Yeah.
butched type woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that they feminized her, you know, a little bit with the body, but she still wasn't as scrawny.
I would have had a lifelong erection if they would have gotten Gina Carano to play her and just slimmed her down a little bit. That would have been perfect for me. I'm sorry.
You lost it right there. And there's his load gone.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Didn't
Moving
last
on.
very long. Jeez.
That's
Sorry
all right.
about that.
Just like I said in the other one, you're invited. It doesn't matter. You got there.
That's it.
Doesn't matter what time you got to the party, as long as you were invited.
Yeah. So now.
Didn't even get to enjoy the party.
It's all right. No, I mean, some of us did.
Yeah.
Some of us did.
You missed the bus.
What is it that Bernie Mac used to say? 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes.
What does the next topic that you wanted to bring up, sir?
The story.
Wow. Okay, so you want to get down into the depressing parts already?
That's the
Because
meat of it.
that story
Yeah.
had so much wrong and so many holes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Lead
it
your
did.
charge on your first point with the
Story had
story.
more holes than a strip club.
Yeah, it did, and that was the cause and effect of making it a PG-13 movie.
Uh-huh.
And it's tough to remember that with everything, it was a PG-13 movie, even though it was darker.
Mm-hmm.
You had an origin story, multiple I feel origin stories or teasing that was in there. I felt half-assed the Justice League coming out. You had some time to come up a creative way to introduce these characters, which we knew were going to happen to come out. But the best you had was clicking on a link.
Yeah.
You had the dream sequences that I get again it was the biggest flaw of this movie, in my opinion, was too many storylines. And as soon as you got on a tempo of a storyline, they gave you
Another one.
Granny's peach tea, and the movie became something completely different. Again, remember, the movie starts off political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really hit some lines that when you leave the theater, you're talking about gun control and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Then after that, it becomes something completely different, to the point that Batman is hiding behind something and kind of walking around saying, oh, what do you want me to do? You want me to stand here? So to
Because
me,
I really have nothing to contribute to this fight.
the redemption of what the director was trying to do.
I got one of these
can't-
left.
I only have one. Yeah, I'm just saving it. I'm just waiting for when he does the uncut version or that rated R version. I'm hoping with that extra time as a fan that you're able to go back and see what storyline he was really telling. But to me, the biggest flaw was just too much going on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's one scene that really bugged me, story-wise. When they blow up the guy in the wheelchair,
Yes.
and everything around him blows up,
Right.
and Superman he's just in the fire, and you see his face.
Yeah.
His face did not look sad.
He did kind of look like he was
No,
He looked
What
like,
emotion do you
"Aw,
think he should have
fuck."
had? That's the emotion he should have had. He looked.
But that's what he looked.
I
Oh,
got
fuck, right?
company.
Yeah.
Yes,
But that's what I would have had. Like
Remember when
they
he said,
got me.
He said, "Hey, look, I wasn't even looking." He's like, he let his guard down.
right, 'cause he could have
trusted
seen it.
humanity. He just sitting there. Hey, he could have.
You wanted sad? I thought that was a perfect. Like,
I thought it was perfect. Like, oh,
like
look
these
at this.
these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because exactly.
I'd have to agree, like, fuck, I just fucked up.
They're gonna blame this shit.
They're
on
gonna
me,
blame
and I
this
gotta
shit on
figure
me.
this- Fuck, man.
You didn't feel it?
They're already.
I
dead.
mean, I
can't
felt
say
that, but I
anything.
felt maybe
Well,
some
but
tears.
you wanted more tears.
Or
maybe
maybe,
some-
maybe you know what? Maybe he's thinking in his head the storyline's gonna. Fuck, man, the storyline's gonna
This is
change.
what we're doing with this.
But
In
you
the
know
comic
what?
books, the Asian chick who's Lex's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Mercy.
She just
Is it
died,
Mercy?
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just died.
But
Yeah,
later
which
on
is crazy
he
'cause
rebuilds
she's-
her, so she'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like his
So he's
bodyguard.
just thinking about where are we gonna go with this storyline. That's what he was thinking. So when you go back and you watch that scene, that's what he's thinking.
And I kind of liked the Granny Peach Tea thing. I thought it was funny.
It was
I
funny
thought it was
actually.
dark funny. Like she couldn't even finish her thing. She's like,
But you know what I thought was gonna
And it
happen?
says Granny's Peach Tea.
Because
Like,
she
yeah,
said
bitch,
you're not
that's a
gonna,
cup of
you know,
piss.
yeah.
Did anybody see that coming though?
No, I thought she was gonna. I thought he poisoned her. I thought she was gonna die. I thought that's why she couldn't speak. I didn't know she was getting that shaken up about it. And then all of a sudden,
That's
Yeah.
and to watch
I
and
just
to
see
watch
this
a
go.
full theater. And again, I saw Avengers. Had no problem with the movie. Enjoyed the movie. But how many superhero movies do you watch that gives you more than those cheering moments, those bright, happy, comedic moments?
Mm-hmm.
This, with the Man-Bat coming out in that dream sequence, him coming through that wall when he was going Arkham Knight style, that stuff caught the audience off guard. And you watched them jump in their seat. You watched them sit back when that thing exploded like, what the fuck now?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That shit was nice. I'm gonna
Just
watch
killed
it
a whole
again
bunch
today.
of people.
yeah.
I'm gonna go watch it again
The
today.
only thing that bothered me, just to go back to the peach, the Granny's peach tea
They didn't
thing,
give the recipe.
not smart ass, that I feel like her expression of it was just a little bit too scared. If I would have saw that, I would have been like, this fucking smart ass.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like, you see it, and then you're like, oh, you know what? You done it now. Boom.
How was that smart ass cup of piss?
Oh, boom.
You know what? But what if
You know-
She was really shaken up.
It
Yeah,
really
like-
did look like a glass of piss, by the way. It
It
didn't look
was.
like any peach tea.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is,
It really did. But I'm like, I would be more pissed like this fucking
But it
smart
was.
ass.
but I think that's how it started. When she first looks at it, she's almost like,
But
she tries to get back to it. Then she starts connecting the dots, looking at the chair.
But the way she got distracted, she was generally fearful, which
Yeah.
she should have been more angry, like the nerve of this guy.
Yeah, like
you know,
he fucking
but she was
jerk.
actually scared, like
Do
she
you
knew
think
what
there
was
was some
coming.
part of her that knew
Yeah, I was
what
like,
about
and
to
how
come?
does a cup
Because-
of
and that's why
piss,
she got scared?
signal
I
to a
think so.
bomb?
You think that she knew?
Because the director kept giving you the chair, even to the point where the assistant was sitting there looking at the chair like, why isn't he? Where the?
Why isn't he blowing
And
up
before
yet?
you can figure anything, I don't know about all. I don't even think she knew.
I know, but isn't there a shot where they show the Asian chick's face where she's like,
Was she realizing that some shit's
Yeah,
about to go down?
she's like,
Yeah,
yo,
fuck.
what the?
Yeah,
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's pretty much all
he
the
just
time
did
she had
this
to
to me.
react.
All right, I'm just hold my breath.
Oh, but okay.
but I love Superman's face. He just closes his eyes and he's like, fuck.
Getting back to the point about the different things that they kept throwing at you. From what I heard rumor-wise, I haven't read anything. I haven't done my
Homework.
research like I was supposed to. Sorry, but from word of mouth and other conversations, almost everything like that moment where Bruce Wayne is downloading the hacked files and
Encrypted,
and when he wakes up, that guy in the portal is yelling.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then also the dream sequence he had with those flying beings
Darkseid.
is all leading to Darkseid coming.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like they, even though they kept throwing stuff in there that kind of threw you off, and then they had, it was still kind of still keeping it in the bigger picture that we just don't see yet.
Exactly. And that's
Maybe. Yeah, I can see that. They threw it at you, but they didn't throw it right in your face.
So for people who aren't knowledgeable of where this could possibly, it just seems like a whole bunch of random bullshit.
Yep,
Like,
that's me.
What the
Yeah.
fuck was that? And then what is this?
If you don't have previous knowledge of what's going on,
Right. Which is,
of like, oh my god, that's from
for a movie to be that long, and you want to make it clear for people who don't know,
gotta trim
they,
that up. You
yeah,
gotta tell
they
a better
they missed the
narration
mark
of it.
on that one.
And that's what was so glaring. Like it was a slow pace at that,
Yeah,
and it was like a slow pace. I didn't want a bunch of action scenes. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want like Batman and Superman fighting for 55 minutes.
I did want it at least 15, not 10.
A little bit longer.
You just wanted to see Batman go Arkham Knight
I-
harder on
Oh
Superman.
man, we're gonna talk about that
But
next.
he blew his load. Like remember the first step? Like okay, this track didn't work. This trick didn't work. The guns didn't work. Let's go to the kryptonite. Like he had before you knew it, he already had got to the end point.
He's bolder than me. I would have had the kryptonite from jump.
yeah.
But then your fight scene would have been 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, at least I like the idea of it wearing off the little gas
Yeah.
thing. I liked how
That
the
was
fight
really
can
smart.
go back and forth with that because it was wearing off. But anyway, we're getting off track. We're still talking about the holes in the story and the execution. Cody, did you have any problems with?
I mean, I don't think I can. I really can't contribute that
Oh,
much
'cause
to this.
the DC universe is not-
I'm not anywhere familiar with the DC universe.
Gotcha.
So I mean, like you said, those scenes where Darkseid and Flash came in, I was like, hey, that's Flash. Like I know Flash. What the fuck does it mean? Why is he here? What's he doing?
Yeah, but I have to agree with that scene being a little off.
Yeah.
Because my mother went to go see the movie with me, and when she saw the dream scene, she's like, "Who the hell is that supposed to be?" I was like, "Mom, it's the Flash," and she's like, "But what does that have to do with what's going on right now?" And I'm like, they're just giving you a foreshadowing.
But they're
Of what's-
taking it.
of what's to
They're
come.
taking it
Back in
out
business,
of the comic.
baby.
But they're taking it out of the comic book because
Yeah.
I believe there's something in Infinite Crisis where before he dies, he runs around and he starts to tell them what's happening. So to Batman, we don't know if that's a dream sequence or the
Or
actual
does it actually
manifesto
happen?
of something happened. But what we believe is Batman takes it the wrong way, as you're right about him, and it could be something else. Like again,
It was a
when-
warning about something
Exactly.
bigger, but he
And
took it
that's-
as
Gotta kill Superman.
Yeah.
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 And that's why again at the end you have Lex saying they're coming already. The bells.
The
Have
bell's
ringing.
been rung.
Does that mean because you activated the ship that they know you're here again? When you look at the cameos, like when you look at Cyborg, and it was a great actor to play his dad. So that movie's promising already on that level. But that black box that they use, that's from his world. And so to have that involved.
Oh
like
yeah,
you said
that's the
before,
Allspark
Yeah.
cube, right? From
Wow, nigga.
From
Transformers?
Oh god.
And
It got me to go. I was like,
Yeah. Oh, he got
that's
me.
that shit looked like
That,
too.
you know, and then you made that face that Superman made in the
I
courtroom.
did. There you go. There you go. That face. So now we've just summed that up. That's that face. You mother Cody. Back at it again.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw that. I was
You
like,
know,
oh,
we're
so
no
this is
longer gonna
Cyborg,
say
and he
motherfucker,
also is
it's gonna
he's a
be
transformer.
Mother
Damn. Cody.
Cyborg's here. Hey guys.
But yeah, they could have cleaned up the storyline. Like after you've seen it and you kind of get the sequences and what they're there for with purpose, you can understand. But again, there's little small like Aquaman looked like he couldn't breathe. Like he looked like he was holding his breath.
No, okay. I need to know
Actually, he
why.
did.
Like we
Why
couldn't
was
figure that
he-
out better.
Why was he? Yeah. Why did he stare at that thing for so long?
Yes. You want to
That
see
was-
me? You
that-
paid the admission. I've got to do this. I have to. And then I kind of get like
that was
maybe
such a long scene for
maybe
that.
they were saying, look, hey, listen, you're in the water. You're part of nature. We need your hair to do some squid octopus thing. Okay?
Yeah,
then you take off.
It was in the contract. I have to be beautiful for at
Yes.
least 30 seconds.
I know. And then damn eyebrows.
How much money do
I
you think he
love
got
his
paid
eyebrows.
just for that 40-second scene?
I would agree.
Well, they start shooting on the 11th
Gorgeous.
of April.
Even though.
No, I'm
they
saying
think,
for that 40-second scene, Jason Momoa probably got just think more money than I'll ever see in my life.
Probably so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like combined of everything. Nah. But that scene bugged me because he's like, yeah.
How did you
Hey
find
guys,
me?
I'm
Yeah.
Aquaman. What's up, guys? Yeah,
What's
you ready
up?
for the next movie? Hey.
I am.
Oh shit, I gotta go. All right. Bah. That was it.
Yeah.
Cyborg scene, pretty cool.
That was cool.
That
Um,
made sense.
but
Star
And the
Labs,
Flash.
you can see at the bottom of
Yeah.
the screen, and
I didn't care for the Flash sequence.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was very simple. You know,
Yeah.
like just to show that his
Oh,
power.
in the
what his
gas
power
station?
was.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, what were
Next
they
stop,
supposed to do?
Supercut.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
I don't know. I just wish they could have come up with something else for him to have to do it.
All of them. But to me, like you said before, there's a storyline in which I don't think the editing was done properly to give you that story. And I felt like Superman had to die because if you're setting up the Justice League,
So wait, I have a question then.
go for it.
Are they not planning on incorporating Green Lantern into the Justice League?
Well, the rumor is they're going to give him pick three lanterns to carry and do their own movie. Whether or not they tie in the Justice League the first part,
Gotcha.
That's a
Because there was
question.
no folder for him.
nope.
Yeah, and I got a little confused because when I saw the circle like they had on the file for
Aquaman?
Cyborg.
Oh, okay. Because when I
Because
saw
I was
the
like, wait a
Aquaman
minute.
stuff, I thought,
And
was
the
that
thing
Arrow?
is, they clicked it so fast that I was like, wait a minute.
The devil.
Was that Cyborg or was that for Green
Yeah, because
Lantern?
it was Cyborg, Aquaman,
And Flash.
Wonder
Flash.
And
There's
Flash.
four, and Wonder Woman.
And then Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
Woman had her own.
yeah, she
Yeah.
had her own
File.
folder. That's where they found the picture, which
You
was a
know,
cool
so-
picture. I'm not gonna lie.
Teaser for the movie.
I dig that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them all badass, dressed up, looking ready to kick some shit.
And I wonder if you look in that picture,
Wonder?
I don't know if I'm right
Get
or
it?
not, but it looked like what?
She said, "I wonder."
And you were talking about Wonder Woman.
Shut up.
But a bump.
Why are you so aggressive?
It's the breast milk.
That's
Get
what
a
it
baby.
is.
You push a baby out, and all of a sudden you're
The
hard as
hormones.
shit.
The hormones.
Just rushing through her body.
But
No, I think she's
I
Hispanic.
think they're gonna
That's
do.
it. That's a big part of it.
They're gonna do
Russian? No, she's Hispanic.
like in the
Russian people
picture
just
that they see
killing
Wonder
it.
Woman. Right next to her is Chris. It
Pine.
looks like Chris
It
Pine.
looked like Chris Pine.
But
So
it is.
that's
It
why-
is, isn't it?
It
Yes.
is. So
Also,
I'm
you're
like,
being serious. That
I
is
was
Chris
in the
Pine.
That
series. I
was
was in the
right.
movie. I was like, "Is that's Chris
Yes.
Pine?"
Yes, and when
And
they-
everyone was like, "Oh,
I
you're
only
so
saw it that
stupid."
once.
No, I've seen it. Yeah. It's Chris
So
Pine.
that's why I was
it's
like-
100% Chris. And
So-
he's got that smirk on his face, like, yeah, motherfucker,
It's me.
I made it.
It's
You guys
me.
didn't think I was gonna be in it. Chris
Wait,
Pine.
who does?
Okay,
Is he
I thought
play
so,
sig-
'cause I
like
was
a
like,
significant
that's-
character?
I think
or-
he's her love interest back.
Oh,
in the
okay,
past.
gotcha.
And then remember, she says 100
He's Billy
years
the Kid.
ago, she goes, well, the 100 years, I had to get away from mankind. That's about the same date as the picture. So I'm guessing in the origin story, they're going to show you why, for whatever reason,
She had to step away.
separate. you know.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Fucks us all up.
But think, like, when Superman died, the way, like I said before, the way I look at how they were setting this up again, almost 10 plus movies, wouldn't it kill the value of the storyline or something for you more believable if Superman recruits the Justice League? Because you're Superman. Why wouldn't you want to work with Superman?
Yeah.
Versus Batman, who's trying to get these people who are almost godlike
Yeah, mega human.
for his purpose.
Well, obviously from the right before credits with the dirt rising up, Superman will be there for the recruiting process. He better be, or I'm gonna be pissed. If the dirt's still rising when they start the next movie, and Batman's done like 2 years of recruiting, I'm not watching the rest of it. I'm gonna get up and walk out.
I think that'd be badass. Like
I have checked out officially, DC.
2 years of dirt rising. Like,
No, but
what the fuck is that?
It's like 8 miles into
the
the
Home Depot
atmosphere. Like,
commercial just pops up. It's like, oh, it's that time, springtime. People have to do more. Whatever.
What are you gonna say about that?
But I just look at it as, again, maybe they're setting you up for something when they tease you with that almost Bizarro look or that zombie-fied look in space to watch him regenerate.
Oh yeah, from the sun.
Maybe
That was
you
awesome. I
need
kind
a
of like that.
bigger adversary, whether Brainiac or who. Maybe you need a bigger adversary.
I don't want to see Brainiac.
to have him come back.
So you want him to basically pull a Goku?
Basically.
Oh yeah.
You want him to still be dead or trying to get back while everybody's fighting this enemy that they can't handle.
Exactly.
And then,
And
just
then he
before
flies
kills
in
them
on
all,
the Nimbus
he-
with sensu beams.
and saves the day.
He's like, all right, Justice League, I got this.
I was like, flash.
Listen, could you imagine how amazing that would be?
Do you think Superman can channel his eye beams through his hands?
Listen, apparently right now he can lift dirt.
He's actually an earthbender.
I would not be cool with that. I would not be cool
Or
with
they
that.
did a little mix of Avatar in there too.
Yeah, I would not be cool with that at all. You know what? We keep going back to this, so let's go
move
ahead and
on.
address the death of
Yeah.
Superman. Cody, how did you feel about that being incorporated in this movie? Because there's a lot of mixed opinions.
There was no part of me at any point in time in that movie when, after he fights Doomsday, where I even legitimately thought that Superman was permanently dead. There's no,
Right.
it loses its power because you know he's not dead. So the
Right.
scene is just like, oh,
Yeah, he just
Superman's
needs
dead.
some sunlight.
Yeah, like
too
he just
much, and they closed it off.
he
put
just
him in
needs
a
to
box.
take a nap. There was no part of me that was like, when he died, I was like, okay.
Right.
When Han Solo died,
You knew he was
that
dead.
shit wrecked me. I was like,
What?
oh, fuck.
You and me both. I was
Yeah.
in the theater like, oh god.
So when Superman died, I was just like, all right, so what? He's gonna come back at the end, or
Not
we're just gonna
Harrison
see him in the
Ford.
next movie?
Yeah,
Like,
but is that because you don't follow the comic book on that half? Versus
does he ever die? Can
Yeah.
He
He
did
did
multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
he? But he comes back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
That's I'm with him on that one. I
You lose the
wasn't
importance.
affected. I wasn't affected by that at all because I knew that even if he didn't come back at the end of this, he's going to be back. So it didn't have any effect on me. So all the
That's thing
emotion they
that's
put into
one
it
of
and
the
try
things
to
that
draw.
bugs me in like the comic book world. You have those characters like Superman is one of them, Wolverine is one of them. When you don't feel anything when they die because you know they're coming back.
You just don't know exactly when.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's from you guys because I give you an example. I'm sitting there with my wife, Elizabeth. Hi, how you doing?
Good
I
job.
just
Good
have
job.
to
You
say
I
did
love
that
how
like
he
she
job.
wasn't your wife. Like you were actually trying to hit her up and get her number. Like, hey, how you doing,
Just-
baby?
Good job.
But we're sitting there and she's next to me and we left the theater and she's like, I couldn't believe he died. I'm like, what do you I was like, oh, because she doesn't follow comic books. She doesn't
I
do
guess.
movies.
I guess.
So it's
She
for them?
completely thought he was gonna. It was like, oh, he's out there in space. He's gonna come back fine. He comes back. Then when he actually died, and you're watching the funeral, she's like, "Is he gonna come back?" I'm like, and I didn't spoil it for her. I'm like,
Right,
no,
right, of course.
He doesn't come back. And at the end, when the dirt lifted, she was like, "Okay, so what's gonna happen next?" I'm like, you got to find out. So again, that goes into the rating of that PG-13. That you're trying to get a general audience to
That's
reboot
true.
a whole cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And
No,
to
so
us,
that
the
wasn't
people
for
who
us.
Get it, that was not for us.
You're
Okay.
right.
The
You're
Han
right.
Solo
That's-
hurt.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
moments that
The
weren't for us.
Yeah, the Han Solo.
Yeah,
I
like
felt
the whole
that.
movie.
Like
yeah,
you said,
I wasn't sad at all when Superman died at all. But even okay, when it comes to me, I don't really follow DC like that. I'm more of a Marvel, but I
Yeah, you
do
are.
love Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Superman.
yeah, Superman. I love me some Superman.
Mm.
So,
Give it to her, she wouldn't even know what happened. Like, oh, I'm asleep.
He would kill you.
you don't know that.
Oh, all right, all right.
Superwoman over there.
Wonder
Reg.
Pussy.
Why you gotta take it to the next level?
Do you? It's like you haven't known me for a year. Like, what?
I didn't. I pregnancy brain, and then like I gave birth, and like it's all rebooted.
Oh, we're starting over.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
I
we're
was not
starting
paying
over.
attention when she said pregnancy brain. I'm like, that's something new.
This just in. Iris is pregnant again.
Da-da-da.
Yeah. Hell no. The thing is, even like if you're a type of person that just knows just like basic things about Superman, such as myself, I've already assumed that he would come back. You know, like even not knowing like, oh my God, there's comic books where Superman dies. I didn't know that. I would still assume. First of all, it's the first fucking movie.
Right.
And people be pissed.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, it's like, we're just starting the Justice League. The nigga has to come back.
Pretty much.
Because if he doesn't, it's like, fuck the rest of the movie.
What are we doing?
Like you signed, like no, he's got to come back. He signed for 3 more movies.
Yeah, like it's
Be
in the
that guy in the
contract.
theater shouting that out.
Yeah.
There was
like-
these kids in the theater as they were leaving the movie talking about, like, I guess they weren't really super familiar with Superman.
Super familiar.
Yeah, so they were.
We're just playing on words. We need to do
Super,
a chime every time someone does
There
that.
was-
Super or Wonder.
And one of the kids was like, "Is kryptonite like the only way that they can kill Superman? Like, what if they just like put him underwater for like a really long time, or they just put it like, what if they?" One of the kids said, "Quote: What if they threw him in a volcano and sealed the volcano with kryptonite?"
Okay, see,
well, damn.
Okay, wait, hold on. First of all, they want him dead forever. But
That was such overkill.
Wait, that goes back to what Eddie was saying is why they keep coming up with these movies with origins for people like that.
Yeah, for people
So the
like
people
that.
who should already know how Batman started, you've got to do an origin for
Yeah.
that person.
True.
Yeah,
That is true.
I gotta change it up,
we
especially
go.
for the little children.
So everybody, I mean, a lot of people seem to really focus on that when they come out of the theater. Like that was the biggest part of the movie.
No,
That wasn't the
Really
biggest part
wasn't.
for me though.
maybe, but
If
maybe
you
it's like he
take-
said.
when he has the spear and
wasn't
he's
the biggest
going
part for
towards
us.
Doomsday with the
Yeah.
spear.
You-
If you take your television, okay, and you turn it up where he's flying upward, it's basically the same ending in a way as Superman Returns. It's a piece of kryptonite. It's weakening him, and
As
he's
he's-
got to get it up there.
That's actually what they did, Ron. They just took
Can
the
we-
old footage and just turned it
Can
sideways.
we talk about that? I was really bothered.
Turn the TV sideways like he fucking did it. Okay.
I was really bothered that he chose to go down after. I was falling out in my seat when he was like, I get it. He went to go save her, and then he was like, okay, now I gotta go get this. I'm like, no, Batman has been missing in action for 15 minutes.
Perfect time for him.
Go get him and tell him to get it, you know?
Yeah.
And no, he goes down and gets it, and he's unsuccessful. He's just floating.
Yeah, and he had already took off his electronic armor, hadn't he?
Save him.
Okay, but
Okay.
that's a head nod to the previous Superman movies where he had to do that one time.
Oh, okay.
So
And
some
let's-
of these are nods.
They're
to
it's
Star
like
Wars
it's like
and
homage.
others. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
They did
talk
the exact
about
same thing, I think, in
that
the second one.
the biggest cock tease ever, which is when Lois
Wonder
Lane
Woman.
when
I-
Lois Lane
I-
tries to get the spear and she's drowning
Right.
and they have no and you're like
Aquaman.
Waiting for him
we've
to hear
seen
Aquaman.
we've seen Aquaman, we know he's a part of this, and they're showing they're showing water for like 15 minutes. She's
They did
dying,
on
she's
purpose.
drowning
He
for
knew what
so
he was
long.
doing.
They're drowning for so long. You're just like, oh my god, she's drowning in the water.
Aquaman's gonna do it.
Aquaman's gonna do it. No, fuck it. You guys can still wait. I wanted to see more of
when you
Aquaman than I
said
did
the
of
tease,
Superman.
I thought you were talking about when Wonder Woman gets hit by Doomsday.
Oh, and
she
she-
kind of opens her legs a little bit, and she
just
kind of like,
She's like, ooh.
curls her lips, and then takes off right back at him.
Yeah.
Like, how did they get this PG-13? There should be a death toll at the bottom.
No.
That's
Well,
all.
remember, just because they imply innuendo in the movie doesn't change the rating. As long as it's not directly in your face, like, oh yes, come fuck me.
And the editing with
Yeah.
a lot of the people that got killed didn't actually show them die.
Yeah,
you put two
exactly.
You know, as
It's
soon as,
just
as soon as the gunshot,
as long
they
as it's-
switch. You know,
implied, the rating, can be PG-13.
can stay PG-13.
We just
Can
saw
you
the
imagine
building
if this was
explode
rated
from the
R, though?
outside.
Oh my god, that would be so fucking
Could you imagine
awesome.
if this
She would have
was
just been
rated
like,
R?
fuck me.
So, Doomsday.
Doomsday my pussy.
Doomsday
And who I am.
does not follow the comic book. Again, it's a different realm.
Right.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Zod, nothing to
Right.
do with Lex's blood. That's Superboy, if you want to count anything like that. But,
I didn't like Doomsday.
but I didn't
There,
like
I'm gonna
how-
go ahead and say it.
I didn't like how they lied and said that's not his final form. Basically,
Yeah,
it was.
This movie, he's just Dragon Ball Z. He was just going Super Saiyan, evolving. Just like
Yeah,
next
and
level.
Well,
I-
the character does, but the end result where you had the bony, like when he dies, that you do have the shards of bone, and he does have that resemblance of it. This more, unless I think again it was a story, like Eddie was saying, there's a story that's being told, and because it wasn't edited properly, we don't see it until after we realize it. So for him to get these bony, for him to get his arm chopped off and that growth was what allowed that end climax for Superman. Because you watch him
Penetrate.
impaled,
Yeah.
and he literally aggressively like pulls himself closer so he can get deeper inside.
Right.
How
How about that?
I was gonna say that's what she said.
Oh, welcome back, Iris. So, so we don't need to spend much time on the Doomsday thing. I mean, but this did play out exactly like we said it would, pretty much, because the trailer pretty much gave us the whole movie. I mean, there was a little bit more to it, more setup.
I like that Robin suit we saw.
with the
Joker's
Joker writing
graffiti
on
all
it
over
and the staff that he's holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that. I mean, we saw that through the trailer.
The Riddler that was on the backside. You had the Joker card taped to his taped to his gun on the dream sequence.
Right.
Oh, there's a Riddler. Oh, the question mark.
Question mark.
That's right. True.
So we know from well, I don't know if it was leaked online, those photos that Batman's gonna be in the Suicide Squad.
oh, really?
That Batman
Yeah.
is
I
going
didn't
to
see
be
the world
in
of
the
it.
You didn't see that? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't see
was.
that either.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
The
I was
world
like,
was
wait,
connect,
because
or-
I think that's Will Smith.
the photos that I got weren't online. It was from somebody that was on set. So I was like, wait, did I just ruin something? But it
No,
was
and
online, right?
I saw it online.
Okay. All right.
So
okay.
if anything, you can put the
Hey,
picture at the
I
bottom.
wanted to make sure that I thought it went
Where
out.
did you see this though?
They
know,
were filming in Toronto, and Batman was on top of on Joker's car in the streets, and he was doing something. They were driving and filming.
Yeah, just put his shit
Yeah,
out.
so when they were filming, there was somebody I knew that just happened to have some stills, and they provided it for me. Okay, and I was keeping it to myself, wasn't gonna say anything, and then I saw it online, and I was like, yay, I can tell people I know now. So great. So, but Batman is gonna be in the
on.
Suicide Squad.
Okay.
But I've also heard rumored that so is Lex. You think they're gonna break him out?
I hope not.
I hope if they do, again, you're seeing that character
Develop.
develop that you want.
Yeah. If
And-
they do
and
that,
he
I'd be
has
okay with
the
it.
Prison's
acting
definitely gonna
range to
harden
do it.
him.
He
Man, I
has,
can't
and that's
wait
what I'm
to
looking
not
at.
in a
I'm
good
looking
way.
at-
Suicide Squad.
What did you
So-
say?
I said I can't wait to see the Suicide Squad.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
gonna
wait
be
to see
good.
that.
I'm actually super excited about that. I
Yeah.
said super.
Super excited. Super.
Oh, Ryan, you had another point that you wanted to bring up.
To me, I'll watch it probably again a day. I just really enjoy the Easter eggs. Like,
Yeah.
like I was telling Cody earlier.
That's me.
The opening. That's it. The opening scene where you're getting that Martha death retell story. A lot of that comes page by page out of the comic book. From the breaking of the pearl to the Excalibur was a nod at. The running time of the movie is the same as what that movie was when it came out. There's I think a Star Wars trailer or a poster that's blurred out of the back. The poster you see from Zorro was a nod at the first American hero that started comic books for the most part. So there was a lot of little nuggets throughout the whole movie. So when I go back and watch it, I'm literally just looking at stuff in the background.
Awesome.
That's what
That's
gets
cool.
me to watch it multiple times.
All right, because I'm gonna get into the final debate, even though it's probably gonna be not much of a debate. But before I get into that, I want to make sure.
I feel like I know what you're gonna ask.
Well,
us.
you know what I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask two questions, but you sure you don't have any other points before we get into this final?
It's tough because I'm pretty sure you're gonna pull something out. I'm like, oh, that.
Okay.
So just do it.
All right,
Just do it.
so who won the fight?
Batman.
Yeah, you're not gonna give me the. Here we go.
I'm gonna go with Batman.
Well,
and the reason why I go
and
with
the-
Batman
okay.
is again you're taking realms out of the comic book. Could Superman have gotten rid of him at the front where you see that kind of smack that shows that power?
Yeah.
Or the part where, and I like how they were telling where in the comic books kryptonite doesn't weaken him immediately. It's something that the dosage manifests in him. And the thing I like about Superman or even Doomsday or Incredible Hulk from Marvel is when you hit them with the strength of, let's say, 7, the next time you hit them, it has to be greater than because their body's going to adapt.
Adjust, yeah.
And that's why you see that scene where Batman's punching him. You're seeing Superman take the hit, the blood, and then all of a sudden you see Superman's head not move as much to not move at all.
He's
So now
he's
it's damaging
adjusted.
so you see that, but once the playing field was even with Kryptonite, he had the kill shot. If Lois doesn't show up and stop it, much like the
You
comic
think you
book,
guys think he would have done it? 100%.
Yeah.
in the
if he
comic
wouldn't,
book,
yeah.
in the
Lois
comic
Lane
book,
hadn't
the
showed up
only
and
thing
been
that
like,
stops
wait,
him,
you guys have the same mom name.
Yeah, I honestly believe that he was like
he was gonna do
getting
it.
even more angry. Like, fuck you say my mom's name for?
God, and just multiple stabs. But
It's like, what do you know about that?
Yeah.
Mom.
in the comic book, it's funny because he stopped because of a heart attack, and through the battle and the damage, that's because it's all lights
Batman
he couldn't
stopped
see.
for a heart attack?
He starts because what happens is once he gets punched enough in his chest, the armor moves so that he can see through the lead, and he sees that Bruce is having a heart attack. Again, this is an older Bruce.
Right.
He's starting to have a heart attack, and he says, "Hey, you need to stop doing it. You're gonna have a heart attack." And I don't remember word for word. I mean, maybe you can put it at the bottom, but in the animated series, it actually shows. He says in one of the most epic lines, or something along the lines of, "Remember this moment that me, a regular mortal, a regular man, could end you. That's going to end you," and then he dies. And I won't spoil it. Yes, I will. He fakes his death in the comic book, but The only difference was
Oh wait,
instead of having
he didn't actually die.
To my Batman.
Wow, what a
Batman.
surprise!
Yeah.
A common character didn't die.
DC does it again.
DC does
Again,
it.
I wasn't
DC's
surprised because
nuts.
it takes little pieces of.
It was funny because I expected you guys to, being Superman fans, to just not admit at all.
Well, what did I tell you this movie was going to do? If you're a Superman fan, it was going to make you respect Batman and what he was coming from, and vice versa. I walked in, Superman fan, and I completely respect what Batman was doing. And then the moral issues of the storyline, again, you fail to realize at the beginning of the movie, Superman killed the guy for a woman. There's no fucks given.
Yeah,
He killed someone.
it's different for me.
And then when you look at Batman killing a bunch of people, some people feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
And I think because
way.
exactly, and because you couldn't get that full moral out of the storyline, you missed that, and that's the questions you have. But I would say
It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it
I
didn't
was
really
fine with
bother
it.
me.
So yeah, because I know that there are
And I
different.
like the Batman
different,
with the gun.
There are different Batmans out there throughout the legacy of Batman,
and
and
this could be
there's
a brand new one.
and there's some darker ones. And yeah, he held some guns. Yeah, he turned some guns at people, and I wanna go ahead and say that Batman in that warehouse was like living the video game. Best night of my life. Okay. I'm telling you, he did
Best
everything.
fight of my life.
Everything that you love in the video game, from jumping through the floor,
Rock bottom.
throwing the devices to disable the guns, and he's grappling people and clothesline and grappling the objects at people, and then he's coming through the walls, and then he's hanging people upside down. Everything that you love about the video game,
That warehouse was pretty 16.
they gave us that, and I just.
Okay, then what about that scene where you had the rookie cop and the vet cop, which also comes from the comic books, and you have him hiding
Up top.
barely in the camera view, and as your eyes are trying to focus,
Adjust to
that's
see
it,
him.
and then you watch how smoothly he just takes off and leaves.
Yeah, and all you see is the end of the cave going.
Yeah,
That
That was awesome.
I like that. That was nice.
That was
very
effective
nice.
Batman. That was awesome.
I think that definitely did a lot for me. There were a lot of moments that were like paying homage to either comic to video games, and then mixing up a lot of things. And so the aggressiveness of this Batman was more towards the latest video games for me, and it didn't bother me at all. So I don't care who's upset about him actually killing people.
he's not
And I've
supposed to
actually,
kill
one of my
people.
biggest problems
Fuck
with
that shit.
Superman, the reason I refuse to be a Superman fan, is because he won't kill anybody.
Except for Zod.
But my knowledge is only from Justice League television series, Ultimate Justice League and the regular Justice League. So
Well, I think those ones were just specifically made for kids.
they are, but I thought that was just the one thing that never changed, no matter what realm or what universe Superman's running, that he just won't kill anybody. So when he did that for a woman, I was like, oh yeah, because even if that was one of my things, like I won't kill anybody. What'd you do to my woman? Okay, well, I won't kill anybody after this. You know,
Restart. As if
zero
there's a
days
sign.
without
Yeah.
killing.
No death. There's a sign behind you that says no death since Tuesday. Oh, start again.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go.
That's funny.
Awesome.
just-
So
I honestly think that Batman kind of won in that. He did. What the fuck? Who's gonna pick Superman? Like, he literally beat
Well, you
the
know,
shit out. I
so-
mean, it was cool how he was like, okay, I got used to how you're fighting me, and yeah, I'm harder than okay, but like, I don't know. It just the hits that Batman was landing were just, they were crunching. They hurt.
okay, I'm glad you guys agree, because I mean I've been arguing with people for days, and the Superman fans were, they don't want to give him the credit because they know that in those first couple of moments when he was trying to talk him out of the fight, Superman could have just ripped him in half.
Yeah.
Because there was no kryptonite right there in that moment being used. It was the guns, and it was the first trap.
Yeah.
And
from the
Superman
book,
could have easily just, all right, this is over. So they didn't want to give Batman the credit. But technically, because Superman chose to engage him
Engage him.
still,
It's his fault.
Not only that, but you see that him being naive. I think this Superman doesn't fully know what he's capable of.
right.
He still thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So when he catches and it works perfectly for Batman's use, when he catches the arrow, Batman doesn't want you to get hit by the arrow. It was never the plan.
No, it was never the plan.
So when it pops, it's like, what the fuck is this? He used his brain, not a special ability, not a metahuman.
So I say Batman's like the Martha Stewart of the Justice League.
Oh,
He
yeah?
gets
Wow.
very creative.
Oh wow, that's how you did it.
Martha Stewart, MacGyver. MacGyver would have been more bad.
Hey, how about that? The MacGyver of the Justice League, or the
Okay.
MacGruber?
I knew you were gonna go MacGruber.
I'm grouping something the other day at work. We ran out of
Martha
envelopes
Stewart.
for the coins.
Everybody die?
No,
that's normally
actually,
how it ends.
You know what? So it wasn't a MacGruber moment.
He stops and has a regular conversation.
I died
with
of
something
laughter
else.
when Eddie showed me these 2 Post-it notes he made into an
That's
envelope.
stapled. The
He
post-its
stapled
are
it
out
in a
to
square.
hold the coins and the deposit.
I don't say MacGyver because of the fact that he's not grabbing objects from his surroundings and trying to create something.
Okay.
This is technology he
that
already
he
has.
can afford.
Exactly.
That's flown in.
Okay,
Basically.
So he didn't grab an
So-
object like a Kryptonian rock and melt that down and turn that into other objects to use.
Yeah, but look what he had to use. He had to use computer.
He had to use high tech stuff
Yeah.
to do it that he had access to. MacGyver will take something of
Now,
nothing
when I
and
say
make
Martha
it. I get what you're
Stewart-
saying.
When I say
get it
Martha
now, I get
Stewart,
it, I get
I'm
it.
just saying the idea is like, okay, I have this rock. I could break it down. I can make bombs with it.
I can make a pound cake.
I don't think I've ever watched Martha Stewart break something down like that. I've got 3 rocks.
Ooh,
I'm
I
gonna
can make a
pound cake.
quilt
Oh
with
my God,
kryptonite.
you guys.
Wrap you in a nice, warm little kryptonite snuggie.
You know what? Now
A
it makes
kryptonite
sense
gift
with the Martha
basket.
Stewart thing because there was so many references.
To Martha Stewart?
No, I'm trying to make it as close reference as I can. Wizard of Oz, where he says, "Where does Clark go? Does he click his heels and go for
yeah.
Kansas for the Smallville jokes?" Or when he says, "At the bottom of the ocean was Emerald City."
Yes.
There we go.
So little small references in the movie. Again, after you see it like 2 or 3 times, you stop watching the storyline. You ignore it. You make your own.
Make your own.
Make your own
That's what
story.
most of the I guess I'll call them guests. That's what most of the people that watch these movies, they
Okay,
make
but-
their own. And you hear them walking out, I'm like, what are you going with this? Like, where are you getting that shit?
Okay, but what?
We're making our
How
own
do you
based
guys feel
on.
about the ratings though? Because I feel like I watched Avengers 2 Reloaded. I mean Age of Ultron, where it was the same
We gotta be quick
storyline.
about this phone button.
I felt like they were just harsh for no reason.
2 theories on that. One, I feel like everybody's strictly judging on the plot holes and the misleading points and the way the story was. As a writer, the movie is trash. Okay, but I didn't watch it as a writer. That's not what I wanted from this. I wanted a solid platform for more. I wanted the origin for more. So I let the writing go. Like the stupid story with the bullets that went nowhere. That Lois
I
Lane.
completely forget it happened.
Yeah, and they set.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Wow,
set
I actually
Superman
forgot
up,
about that.
Right, and they set Superman up for what? I mean, they had a good setup already with the explosion and thing. They didn't even need that bullet
They
story.
need that
Yeah.
whole segment.
You know, they didn't need it. He was going to
Jimmy
come out there and
Olsen?
save her regardless.
Jimmy Olsen dying at the beginning of the movie.
Right. What?
What was that for?
And he was going to come out there and save her regardless of whether those bullets were there or not. It was just stupid. Like, there's a bunch of stuff as a writer. This movie's horrible.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it as a writer.
Scenes that are just
If I
unnecessary.
went by the story alone, it'd be.
But
4 out
that's
of
why
10.
I think the ratings are what they are.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to get the complete package, so they judged it
Yeah.
harshly. We were looking at it for something else, and I think that's why we enjoyed it. I just let the writing go altogether.
yeah. So if you do that, the
Plus,
whole
I
movie would've
also
just been
believe
shit.
that Marvel and Disney are paying people to post bad reviews. That's just my theory.
I would
That
not
actually,
doubt it. Most of the Marvel
Guy
people are the ones-
Said, the monster, he actually threw that at me, and I was like, you know what? That sounds legit because it was so from day one. Like they didn't even get
The
the
movie
Friday.
didn't even come out yet.
Yeah, the
They
movie
didn't
didn't come
get
out.
the screening. They were like, no.
Thursday,
We had reviews 3 months ago. They're like, this
Thursday
movie's
they were
terrible.
just flooding everywhere on Thursday. I'm like,
Damn.
seriously, not that many people saw it on Thursday. I mean, it was like everywhere. I'm like, when the monster said to me that it was like probably Marvel and Disney paying for people to just post reviews and say, I can see that shit. I can see it. But all it did was make people go find out why.
$500 million.
There you go. So I mean, don't even waste your time trying to trash it. Go see
Like
because
they
people are gonna
say,
go see for themselves.
good or bad, publicity is publicity.
That's right.
And you still gonna make somebody famous whether it's bad or good.
Awesome.
And the DVD comes out, I think, this summer.
They're not wasting no time.
Yeah, and I can't wait.
DVD comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, no.
Tomorrow.
1 week.
Like,
1 week from the movie.
All right. Well, I hate to cut this off because we are definitely having a good discussion, but the microphone and the battery on the phone is about to die. So, this was definitely your in-depth Movie Lingo Batman versus Superman discussion. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you for joining us for another Movie Lingo discussion. I'm Eddie Lingo,
And I'm Ron.
I'm Iris.
I'm Cody.
and we'll see you in the next discussion.
Do you bleed?
We'll put that in there.